Okay.
Good evening and welcome to our Committee of the Whole meeting of January 13th. It is 7:02. Approval of the agenda, please.
Moved by
Can I just make my ask? I'm just wondering if I can add one item under new business
Before we approve the agenda.
before you approve the agenda. It's just about the budget. Is that okay? Okay, thank you.
And what would you like to call? Just questions?
Setting a date. For council, just for council to set a date to go over the budget after it's presented to us. I think it's important that we set that
Well,
date.
the next meeting after.
The next meeting after. So I would just like us to do that before we all get booked up and too busy.
moved by Ted Brown, second by Harold Levine. Be it resolved that Council for the Township of Killaloe, Hagerty, and Richards hereby adopts the agenda for the Committee of the Whole meeting of January the 13th, 2026 as presented.
All those in favor? Carried. And now our First Nations land acknowledgement. As we gather today, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of this committee and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. And we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. And please join me in a moment of silent reflection. And thank you. And does anyone have any pecuniary or financial interest to declare? Having seen none, approval of the minutes of the Committee of the Whole of December the 9th, 2025, open session.
Moved by Ted Brown, second by Maureen McMillan. Motion to approve the minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting of December 9th, 2025, open session.
Questions, discussion? All those in favor? Carried. No delegations, and our first report will be from our Bob.
All right, we're on here. It's been a while since we've met, but since our last report on the operation side, on December the 6th, we had a carbon monoxide alarm on River Road. December the 8th, the smoke alarm issue on Meadow Drive. December the 16th, we had an unattended bonfire on Turner's Road. December the 18th, the chemical smell on North Street. December the 19th, arcing hydro line down on Red Rock Road. December the 19th, again, arcing hydro line down Highway 16 near Hidden Trail. December the 23rd, structure fire on Bone Shore Provincial Park. We lost a little cottage. And we went back on the 24th for some hot spots. If we're looking at numbers, we had a total of 45 fire calls this year. And that's not including the 106 acre one because that's being documented through M&R. And that's compared to 30 in 2024. Ongoing activities, we got the weekly truck checks, the monthly equipment checks. Recent events, November 11th, we had Remembrance Day ceremonies, the 25th of November, bi-monthly meeting. December 3rd, we had the Regional Fire Chiefs Association quarterly meeting. December the 5th, the Regional Fire Chiefs Christmas meal in Eganville. December the 13th, we had the Christmas parade. Recent training, November the 18th, we did hose management, live fire overview, dawn and doffing. On the 29th, it was exam day, 8 o'clock in the morning. They started written exams, and 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we went for practical. December the 2nd, they had the firefighter 1 and 2 exam and practical discussion. December the 9th, we had training on extrication, and January 6th, hazmat. I wanted to add a note here that the M&R has given the fire department a brand new Royal King barbecue along with the new DeWalt higher pressure sprayer to say thanks for letting them utilize the Killaloe Fire Hall for the recent security and safety training days. On the CEMC side, we had the our annual meeting on December the 18th. And on December 31st, we had the compliance letter at the first level anyway, come back. It's attached on the next page. We were found compliant on all requirements. That's it for fire.
Any questions above? Pretty good. Thank you. I don't think anyone has any questions. We're good. Thank you. Next is Colton.
Evening, council. I do apologize for the long report, but given the circumstances, I think that all the stuff in here is important, and yeah, so we'll just get started here. So the Halloween event, the original plan was to do a haunted trail walk in Killaloe Pathways Park. Due to the inclement weather, we had to change that to just kind of drop in here at the township office, which was led by our volunteer committee. The feedback I got from that was really well. A lot of people came in, a lot of happy trick-or-treaters, and that's always good. Remembrance Day, just a note for council, this year we budgeted $1,200 and we spent that. That pretty much covers the promotion and the food of the event. We want to have a pipe band or someone to come play, your O Canada, your Lament, your Rouse, all that stuff. It's going to be about $450. The Christmas market, which was the kind of pilot for this Holly Jolly market, turned out really well. We had about 225 people come throughout the evening. Every vendor who was there last year showed interest coming again this year. And just a thank you to Algonquin East Animal Clinic and the Killaloe IDA for sponsoring the event. They made it possible, as well as help from our volunteer committee. And thank you to all the local businesses staying open late for that event. It was awesome. So into some programming stuff. So the Killaloe Rink advertising project. So we currently have we have 7 companies sponsoring ads at the Killaloe Rink, which is roughly $2,400 that's been put back into the Killaloe Rink operational fund. Hoping to get some more at Lexinglass this year and keep that advertising up and keep getting more businesses' names on there. The art gallery of the Ottawa Valley. So I think there's going to be more discussion at the regular meeting, but one thing I just wanted to touch on for this meeting is just to make council aware of the actual size of the gallery display. So if you remember, Andy Gannister came in and was talking about doing an art display out front of the office. Through discussion with our asset manager and just kind of going over what accessibility looks like and just flow of everything. There is a proposed size that I have sent Andy Gannister in an MOU, and it's just a little bit shorter in depth than originally planned, but the size is the same, just being kind of moved differently. That can be kind of all brought up once we have a more in-depth understanding of what it all looks like. The Killaloe Outdoor Rink. So the Killaloe Rink and the canteen are in full operation. Schools are supposed to start this week, but due to the weather, they're starting next week. The Round Lake Rink. So the Olympia has been repaired and is in working order. And then just to touch on the second part here, the snowblower has been fixed and is back. The report was sent in kind of before the snowblower was fixed. The surface has been flooded, and I'm hoping for kind of mid-January start. So hopefully in the next week or so we'll have
Ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, once I hear back from my ranked manager, then we'll make the social media posts and we'll get her going. Some grants. So I submitted the fire protection grant. We applied for $33,000 in funding. We were successful in it. So chatting with Bob, we're going to get 5 sets of bunker gear and 7 compressed air tanks. Waiting for the transfer payment agreement to come through and get all that figured out. Celebrate Canada, so that pays for our fireworks. I've submitted the same funding as last year. That is typically held through Capital Pyrotechnics, who we are going again with this year. We got quotes for. So that's been submitted. Experience Ontario, what we got last year in funding, as you see below, we were funded $3,869. I applied for $4,250 this year. And if we are successful or get partial funding, I'll adjust the event scope kind of based on what we're funded. Canada Summer Jobs, I applied for the same as last year. 2 swimming students, 2 public works, 1 wayside attendant, 1 community development assistant, and 1 visitor information center attendant. Just to note to council that Canada Summer Jobs only funds 50% of minimum wage, not what we decide to pay them. So I believe minimum wage this year is $17.60. So they would fund 50% of that. Not if we decide to pay them, we'll say $18, they would only fund half of $17.60. The pothole prevention and repair program is a grant that is kind of new to me, new to my understanding. So I'll do my best explaining it. So basically, what it is, it's a grant that pays for kind of pothole repair strategies, and that can either be asphalt, hot mix, cold mix, or gravel. So if you read through it, there's a whole bunch of stuff on kind of the eligible expenditures. The way this grant works is different than other grants. So basically, what we have to do is send in an application that's basically just explaining that we're interested in this grant. If we are successful in it, they will send back a form where we have to provide them with a road condition report and updated asset management plan on the designated road we want to do, which I believe is Mass Road. Dean? Yeah. And kind of the lifespan of the road and all that in detail stuff. And then we will send that back out and then wait for their response on that. So it's kind of a two-step grant, which is new, but that's kind of all I have right now. And then similar to the pothole grant is the Road Safety Initiative Fund. So this is a project that is paying for traffic calming measures. So we are going to be applying for speed feedback signs with this grant. It's 100% funding and there's no guaranteed amount, but when I was speaking with reps, he was saying they're looking at ranges about $60,000 roughly. There can also be discussion if we want to go through, and I know Dean and I have chatted briefly about this, about maybe getting, seasonal speed ramps on Queen Street. We'd obviously have to figure that out with the county, but it is an option if council wants to go with that. And yeah, so it's similar to the pothole grant is we have to send in an expression of interest. They come back, we have to show them our asset management plan and where we're looking to put these things, where any past history we have from this, and kind of a site map of what everything looks like in the whole scope of this project and what we're looking to get out of it. Another grant, summer employment opportunities. So this is what we applied for to get our tourism coordinator for the VIC. So this person is the I guess the position we call as a plant caretaker. Tourism coordinator is what fits best for the grant, so that's what we're applying for under this. Just so council is aware that the maximum funding last year for this position was $3,741. We were not successful last year, but I did send in an application for this year for the same amount. And then there's just additional information on there for council to look at just for their knowledge. So the Immigrant Support Program opens January 14th, and that's for the Irish Gathering to offset the operational costs for that event. And I'll be applying for that grant again. And then just additional grants I'll be applying for in 2026 that I know of right now is the Farm Credit Council Agri-Spirit Program. So last year we were unsuccessful in that, and that was to cover costs for accessible picnic tables, eating areas, and beach mats here at Boyle Park. The grant is coming out in January again, and I will be applying. And then Rural Ontario Development, there's a new stream coming out in February. We should be hearing back on our first intake anytime now. And based on what I hear back from that grant will be kind of what the project is for the February. And then some miscellaneous stuff. So the Economic Development Council of Ontario event, also known as EDCO, is February 2nd to 4th. I'll be going that in Toronto. There's going to be really cool speakers, including Doug Ford, and I can't remember his name, but he was from Dragon's Den. So going to be a lot of cool and insightful speeches that I can hopefully take back to my position and kind of implement in my job. And then the AMCTO MAP course. So I've completed level 2 of the course, starting level 3 in February. And I'll be hoping to have my diploma in municipal administration program by the summer fall, which means I've completed all 4 courses. Something new and cool for council to kind of think about and do some research on their own is I've been chatting with Colin Coyle in the town of Petawawa regarding the Water and Dirt Festival. Basically, it's a large-scale summer event that go through all different townships, bringing in events that are outdoors and kind of active to bring people in. So we have been in discussion, as well as Jason Maskin, doing a canoeing and hiking event at Bonnechere Park this year to get the Water and Dirt Festival brought into Killaloe Haggerty Richards. There's kind of very surface level stuff done right now. We are planning to meet to go over everything else, including kind of in-depth costs. But as of right now, we're really just looking at $50 if we wanted t-shirts sponsored for our event. It's a great economic driver, and we can be looking at anywhere from 50 to 100 people in our township for that event, which would be pretty cool. So the controlled burn sign update. So I've received a preliminary drawing from Nature of Design for the Killaloe Haggerty Richards Fire Department to put up to ensure there are no unnecessary calls to control burns that have been approved. The sign has been attached in a council package, and the cost kind of is determined on what council wants to do for a sign. So if we want to go with like a 2 foot by 3 foot sign, which would be similar to like a real estate sign, you're looking at about $200. If you want to go bigger than that, then you're probably looking at double that, and then etc. Matt Cherry says in his opinion that 2 foot by 3 foot sign would be big enough, but again, I think that's a conversation with council and then approval from our fire chief. Something really cool is the Global Irish Civic Forum. So I was invited by the Ambassador of Ireland to Canada to attend a Global Irish Civic Forum taking place in Croke Park in Dublin from April 30th to May 1st. And you can see your letter I attached. This was from the grant we got in the communications I've made with the reps from the grant company. So it was pretty cool to be invited out. I'm not expecting council to fund that event, but I just thought that you might want to be aware of it. And there's one more thing to touch on before I get into the next piece. So a facility rental request. So a request to use the Killaloe Rink as a party space on February 7th, 2026 from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. has been received. This would mean that the Killaloe Rink would be closed to the public from 11 to 3. Seeking council direction regarding facility rental request due to the closure to public. So that's something that I'll need direction on. And then pre-approval requests. So I'm not really sure how to go about this, but I hope that we can figure this out together. So last year, I didn't get pre-approval for the budget, and I found myself pretty constrained for 2 events in the spring and for Canada Day and the Irish Gathering. So I'm just asking for pre-approval to go ahead and book my performers, get everything done so we can stay on top of all our events this year. As far as the costs you see, so the Easter event is going to be an increase of $800 from last year, and that's just to get a nice sign in the front and get some new decor to really bump up that event and make it more attractive to the community, and maybe even hire someone to come in and play some music, take some pictures, something like that. The environmental action tour is status quo, and Canada Day and the Irish Gathering. The Irish Gathering is actually down $500, and Canada Day down $200. So I'm not really sure the process there, but if council could maybe give me some insight into how that works, that'd be great. And then one thing I wanted to chat on too with budgeting is the Ontario Trillium Foundation. So the application opens February 4th. This grant funds $200,000 at 100% funding as their maximum. In 2025, there was estimates of $350,000. Through new discussions and kind of looking at alternative options with Greenview, with BEI, I think that 350 is a little high. I think that we can do the project from anywhere from 290,000 to 300,000. With roughly, Councilor Levine, I said 22,000. I don't know if it's above that, but that's kind of a baseline number that I think is a good number to go off of. So we'd be looking at, instead of 150,000 for the project, I'm going to say anywhere from $70,000 to $80,000 if we get the full 200,000 from OTF upon a successful application. And I was chatting with an OTF rep today. I don't have this in my report, but just our report last year went to the volunteer, like the final stage, and they said it was a very strong report. So I think that I have a really good foundation, and now I know kind of the little stuff to beef it up. So I mean, you can never be 100% sure on grants, but yeah, I wanted to make council aware of that as well. So then the council discussion. So you'll see a list of kind of everything I'm looking for. So just making sure council is aware of the art gallery, and I know there's going to be further discussion on that. So just making sure we're on top of that. The OTF grant application, just making council aware of that. The facility rental request, does council want to approve that? And then the pre-approval of event budgets. So I can give council a few seconds to kind of go over things, or if we want to tackle things one piece at a time, I'm okay with that. I know it's a lot. I appreciate everyone listening, and yeah, any questions?
You were longer than a delegation. We almost had to cut you off. Okay, let's go to the, on the back page. Number one, the art gallery. Questions?
We can't decide on these things now, right?
Well, I'm sorry,
Can we decide on any of these things?
not really, but for discussion, like the size and we'll have to see your proof, right?
Yeah, yeah, and just to give council kind of an idea of what it looks like. So the original MOU had the cabinet coming at 16 inches. I feel like if it's 16 inches, you have someone looking at it. The original MOU had the cabinet coming in at 16 inches. The asset manager and I think that coming at 12 inches, but all that stuff can be brought to council for direction once I have a fully documented MOU and we have a better understanding.
And as far as the OTF grant application, I think what we have done in the past is we allowed you to apply for it. And then if we're successful, then we have to make that decision at that time. I don't think there's anything that we can do prior to that. So, Counselor, you okay with allowing him to go ahead, knowing that what the result, if it's favorably, then we have to address it.
Yeah, that was more just letting you know that there's been like a change in cost and
Yeah.
we've been able to find an alternative amount. So
So we're okay with allowing him to go and do the grant or apply, make the application. Now, number 3, the rental request. I think that's the first one we've had this year.
the first one where I require council direction on, yes.
Any questions, Brian?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I agree with that, because it's a Saturday, first of all, and, if you're gonna close it down to our public, the season's fairly short for that. You know, and I don't see why it should be just a private thing for Saturday. It's probably one of the busiest days at the rink, I'm guessing. So I'm not in favor of that.
Harold, have you had any past experiences?
Yeah, I agree with what Brian is saying, and also how are you going to keep somebody out of the area, off the ice on one of the busiest days of the whole year on a Saturday? I don't agree with the renting of it and keeping the public off, the rest of the public out of it.
Any other questions? So,
I just have one. Has this ever been done before? Is this like a
I think it
typical?
has been at times when the rink is not
Okay,
it's like
like a weeknight.
that's a busy time.
yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
I can't remember Round Lake as long as I've been there of any day in the winter
Mhm.
or evening where it was rented to just one event and
Yeah.
not with the rest of the public.
Carl?
I can remember a long time ago in Killen, they did rent it out for a birthday party and it didn't go over very well.
Okay, so by the sounds of, unless we want to see a show of hands, the answer would be no. Anybody against that? So the answer would be no. And in regards to the pre-approval of the events, I think they're going to come forward into the budget meeting on Thursday, but as far as pre-approval, I think we've always done in the past that allowed him to go ahead and start the process. Anybody questions about that? We're all okay with him going ahead?
I will bring a formal resolution to council at the regular meeting.
Now, any other questions? Oh, Brian?
Yeah, I have a question regarding these fire signs. So what was the size? 2 feet by 3 feet and $200 cost. And how many signs were we looking at? How many would we need?
So chatting with Bob, he said 3 would be good. It allows us to have kind of backups if we have multiple burns, but yeah, I can see us needing more than 3. So $600.
Good, thank you.
Just on that point, would you not want to have a multiple of 2? Like either 4, 6, 2, 4, 6? Because need one on each side of the road, right? Or unless they're 2 sides.
I mean, yeah,
I don't know.
that's out of my wheelhouse. I got the sign drawn up.
Ted, your past experience with it?
I would say we need 2 on each, for each call, or for each barn. you'd
Like
need
one each
2
way?
behind, Yeah,
Yeah. So either 2, 4, or 6, whatever the amount.
unless they are double-sided, you could put it right there.
Any other questions?
Just a comment, the signs like that get used during elections are $20 a piece. $200 a piece. This sounds like there could be a more cost-effective option.
Yeah, the dollar sign comes from getting that custom made and having the vinyl on it. That's the expensive part. The framing for them is like you said, 15-20 bucks. Yes, there are alternative options that I can look into if council would like me to.
Just a comment.
They gotta make custom election signs too. Like they gotta do the printout on the, all they do is print it on the computer and it's done.
How does
I
that
don't
go?
see what the big-
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
I know, I don't know what the big problem is, the expense.
Anyways, why don't you put that on into your budget and we'll see where it goes, okay?
I don't know what the cost would be, but I think they'd be a great asset to our department because I think we get a fair number of calls that are not, like they go there for nothing basically, and this might save a lot of money in the long run, I'm thinking.
Yeah, actually, it was funny when Ted brought it up originally, the next day or 2 after I saw them in Madawaska Valley driving down the highway and they were there, big, bright, colorful signs that.
If they work once, they've paid for themselves.
Yeah. So, any other questions? Ted?
I have a question regarding not that rank request, but about the rank. I did get a call from the organizer of the hockey tournament for snow fun. He's saying that he needs to get liability insurance. Is we've been having this tournament for 30 years. This is the first I've heard of it. And it used to.
Yeah, he had called me also, Ted.
It was run by the township originally at one time, and it just sort of put in there and it just sort of got shoved over to him. So I'm not sure. Is there a way around that? Like, would not fall under our insurance?
Exactly, and I wasn't sure, so I referred him to call to Tammy, and I'm not sure if he did or not. Anyways, so he was wondering if it could fall under ours, so I gave him direction to call the office, and because they would know about the insurance plan, of what's covered, what's not covered, so I wasn't able to make that comment at the time, so because I just didn't know. So
Yeah, well, historically, if it's used to be a township event, we could just call it a township event and appoint him as the coordinator.
Because
And then if the insurance company says.
I know when it started, it was put on by the rec committee, which because my dad was part of it years and years ago. So,
Yeah,
it just, he can't afford to get, he can't get liability insurance, no, because it's not feasible.
and I'm quite not sure why this came up this year as opposed to not other years. I don't know if there's been a request beforehand. I don't know.
who was it that told the
Derek,
person
Oh.
that he needs?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
I didn't tell me, but
okay.
so Tammy, what would our,
Well, what I'll do is I will contact our insurance company and see what they say about the tournament, hosting the tournament,
okay,
and I'll get back to council.
okay, thank you.
I would think it should be covered through ours because it's on our township property. We're paying insurance on the rate there, aren't we? I don't see why it wouldn't be.
And it leaves my mind, when is the actual tournament? The end of January?
Last weekend of January.
Yeah.
Yeah, 31st.
31st.
The snow fun week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, good, okay. Anything else for Colton? Good.
If I could just add one more thing I forgot. In your package too, you'll see a letter from the Round Lake Property Owners Association. It's basically them just saying they'll support with the demolition of the old rink boards at the Killaloo rink. And that is part of the cost saving with that rink, not having to pay someone to demolish it. Just for council's knowledge.
Okay, thank you. Dean, you're up.
Okay, well, I won't be as long as Colton is. So regular winter road maintenance continues along as maintenance checks on equipment. This was from past meeting there, but it got delayed or canceled or whatever. So like it's difficult sometimes to maintain the gravel roads with the freeze thaw cycles that we've been experiencing. Now it's not too bad, but before it was pretty hard to maintain because we get the rain, we get the thaw, then the potholes and the gravel roads. It'd be hard to keep that because the next day then it freeze, right? So you can't really grade it either. Just a proposal to prohibit heavy trucks access to a gravel portion on Mask Road. So that's the section of like Round Lake Road, between Round Lake Road and Highway 60. During the winter spells, like with the spring thaw, blah, blah, blah. It's really take a toll on that road. And I've been getting so many calls about that. Like it's atrocious. We put signs up there or whatever like that. If council would agree, we can make some kind of a bylaw up and then we can look at like making an agreement with McClement. So like for his business there, we wouldn't want to disrupt that with the crushing and stuff like that. So if they could come around the other way, because like they do it with the half loads already, like when we put the half load signs on, like the big trucks, and it takes them an extra 5 minutes to go around like the high, like around like road instead of going across Mask Road. I think that'd be a real good opportunity for council to think about that a little more, because there's a lot of trucks go through there, and I don't know, it ruins the road completely. When we're talking, I know Colton was mentioning about the pothole prevention grant. That was one of the roads that I was thinking of doing. I got 2 quotes for that one, for the gravel, just the gravel section. So there would be like a geotech laid down. You get 6 inches of gravel, A gravel on top, 4 inches, graded, compacted for 6.5 meters wide. And then eventually if we went ahead with that, it'd be worthwhile to shut the road down, like for trucks. But if council's against that, then we do have, I do believe Colton said till February, we could move that pothole grant to a different road. So it's council's decision on that, but it's just, it's really difficult because it's so many trucks go across that road, but we don't want to deter them, but they still can, like they do it in half loads anyway. So just something for council to think about it as well. The beaver tail bounty. A lot of municipalities around the area and the county or whatever, we only charge $25 for them. I recommend charging like 75 kind of thing, because it's kind of, we're pretty much at the bottom of the totem pole, so to speak, kind of thing, right? So I think if council would agree to that, to move it up to $75 a bounty. So the county's capital, our 10-year capital road project presentation, I attended the annual general works meeting at the county for their 10-year project. Once the information has been reviewed, I will give a more detailed report on what projects that the county intends to do within the municipality of KHR. I did look at it briefly, and there has been quite a bit that they're going to be doing in our municipality, like with bridges and some resurfacing and stuff like that. So Once you do that, I'll get a presentation for the county. And they did stress they're not downloading any roads to KHR Township, which I'm strongly against that. So so I made sure I asked that. AOR's trade show, Petawawa, obviously. A representative from Brant is expected to visit or discuss refurbishing equipment, so we can maybe get them. Or I did bring that last year, I think, to council, that I showed pictures and stuff like that with the city of Ottawa that does refurbishing and stuff like that. It's probably $200,000-300,000 cheaper that to purchase a grader or loader or et cetera. The reason being is if you do purchase a new grader now with the depth fluid and stuff, there's more emissions on it, which is good, but then you get more run into problems. And if we refurbish a grader or what council wants to do, or a loader, they'll take it down to the engine as far as we want to go, do hoses, engine, sandblast it and paint it or whatever for like probably close to $300,000 cheaper than if we were to outright purchase a piece of equipment. So that's just another thing. I know, Mr. Brown, there you were talking about last time for that trade show. What are you thinking? Like, I guess we should have asked Colton, like, for a booth, why would we need a booth? I'm just asking a question.
Well, just people from all over Ontario come.
Okay. So what would you want out of that? Like, would you want it manned, or do you need like just, or what do you think?
Yeah, like you there for the whole weekend. No, I think there should be.
I don't mind.
There should be, I think there should be people there for sure, just.
Yeah.
Loading the ship.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Dean,
I'll talk to Colton about that, and then,
Some swag and stuff.
we'll figure some stuff out, because I know he was working on some stuff for the budget and stuff, so.
Yeah.
Dean, I think also the idea was to see if they needed any help also.
Yep.
If any of your guys wanted to help or volunteer, that type of thing.
Mhm.
Plus, in addition, having the table there.
Yep.
And like Ted said, swag, and just it's an economical thing.
Yeah, like I said, I'll talk to Colton about that, and we'll discuss and see what we come up with. That being said, is any member of council willing to help out?
What's the dates?
I think I don't know off the top of my head. I think
I thought it was around the 6th.
it's either June 5th or 6th. I think it is something like that, I think.
And it's through the week.
Yeah,
It's through the week, like Wednesday, Thursday.
something like that. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but
I would help.
okay, I'll bring that up like sooner to the date, or I'll talk to Colton, like I said, and we'll figure some stuff out. Okay, sounds good. In the meantime, I'll be in touch with Chris Mantha from Petawawa, because he's one of the organizers, and I'll see what he needs for KHR's help or whatever. Okay. Because I think Steve Boland was here the last time doing a presentation with that, so I don't think we need another presentation for a member of county to for a delegation, right?
No. He's already done one at the county, and everyone was
He's not on here. I think it was.
everyone has taken it back and to their own council. So
Yep. Okay. Okay. So the waste site, the Blue Box transitioning is continuing to go well so far. A company from Eganville, they actually dropped off our 220-yard Moloch bins, so we still have the Molochs there up and running. One in each site until the summer months, and we're going to figure out if they're going to continue doing that, because I think the company is doing the parks and stuff as well. So hopefully we can jump on board with them and continue the Moloch program as well. And they're just like those 20 cubic yard bins are just basically for the rent. Also, I'm looking into buying some stairs for the aid and easier access for residents to dump their containers into the new waste disposal bins. I know you're pretty dull. Somebody like me would probably need them. But yeah, so there's a mobile, we need one at each site. I know we were looking into the price of that, but we'll put that into our waste management budget. But those would be a really good addition, and like I know a couple other municipalities have those and they work really well. They're on wheels, they have railings, they're all, CSA approved. At least they can move them from each recycled cardboard or whatever need be, right? So other than that, the RFP invitation for the town and plow truck should be issued this month. And just to let you know, I'll be on holidays from the 16th to the 24th. I'll be returning on the 26th of January. That's it for my report.
Okay, questions? Bill?
Not a question, just a comment. Lots of positive reinforcement for doing this. It's great to have a written report. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ted?
June 3rd and 4th is the thing in Petawawa.
Brian?
Just a question. So on the, that Mask Road, you said, 6.5 meters wide, they would supply gravel. Is that what, or did I hear that right, or?
Yeah, they would, we put 6.5 meters of geotech on the very bottom. Put B gravel on top of the geotech and then A gravel on top of the B gravel and compacted with a compactor and roll it. We did get quotes already for that, Brian. But again, if council's not, it's almost pointless to do that until if council decides on putting like no restriction on heavy vehicles and that.
So I'm not sure if you know, but how wide is that road right now?
Off the top of my head, Brian, I'm not sure. It's very wide, but it's not going to be the same width.
Yeah, I was just guessing, but I've been down, when I go down it, yeah, I think it's more than 6.5 meters.
It is, but
in
it-
most
no.
places, so.
It is.
Yeah.
But like if you look at like going in that asphalt pave from Round Lake Road to Mr. McClement's R&R, that's 6.5 meters there.
Okay.
So that'd be that's with the shoulders as well. So there's
Okay, and one other question regarding the bounty on the beaver tails. What's the like how do you know where these beavers are caught? Like, do they have to be caught in the ditch or anywhere in the township or what?
they're usually caught on municipal property.
So on road?
Yeah.
Okay. And do we get what would be a rough amount number that we get brought in each year? You have any numbers on that?
Not off the top of my head, Brian. I could probably figure that out.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind just getting a,
Okay. I'll break that down.
thank you.
No problem.
Any questions on this side? Nope. I do want to dwell upon the Mask Road thing. That road. What is the format to change that? Do we need a bylaw to change that road half loads for the entire year? Like, is that what has to happen? I'm not sure what the process would be. So we need a bylaw to change it. Like I get lots of calls, and that's the hot topic. People don't want to even drive down that road because it's so bad. And I know for a fact, and this is even after your crew does a fantastic job, but in a day or two, it goes back to the way it was. It's one of those roads. And unless we stop those heavy duty trucks, but I totally agree with you if we can redo that, but we have to go hand in hand. So whatever the process is, council, do you want to proceed with this and make it a half load road for the full year? Is that the right phrase? What's the right phrase?
No trucks, Tom,
No trucks?
from that section.
I'll say close it down to heavy trucks, no truck traffic.
Okay, so if that is the case, there's one company that probably uses that road more than anyone else. Is that going to be a detriment to us?
No, I don't, I drive truck for a living too, and if I have to go to Round Lake and I'm coming from Gold Lake, I would not drive that road, paid me. So it takes you an extra 2 minutes to come around
And less wear and tear on your vehicle after going across that road,
I think I
big
did,
truck or not.
I think I did time it with a tandem plow truck. I think it's just over 5 minutes, like around 5 minutes extra.
So having said that, can we proceed with the process of doing this, Tammy, as far as a bylaw? And then that would give us a leg up when hopefully successfully Colton gets that grant for the potholes, and then that can proceed. And we can make that road as good as it possibly. Is everybody okay with that?
I'm not sure that that's the problem with that road is the heavy trucks. That road has been there forever and there's been heavy trucks going down that forever. And I think there's other issues, the road itself. But
If I could just have a question or a comment on that. Yeah, I get that, Brian. But a lot of those roads have been built with corridor back in the day. Like, so it's wood, so wood deteriorates, right? So every time you get that freeze-thaw cycle and everything comes up, wood rots, right? So it's in the ground. I know when I put the culvert in myself, I dug it out there, that culvert in between that. And like I dug out like rotten chunks of wood. So I think that's a lot of it too. And like there's no stability in it. Like back in the day, yes, they did corridor on every road, like with the wood, but it held up. But I think it needs like geotech and like proper, like more advanced what was done back in the day.
yeah, I think, but I guess my question is if we close it to trucks and then if we don't do anything with the road, it's not gonna change even for half tons of cars. It's still gonna be rough. Like I'm like Ted, I don't even drive down with my half ton anymore. I drive around.
Yeah, but when you have, I'm not sure exactly how many ton of logs going across that road, if it's anywhere soft, Brian.
Yeah.
One pothole this size is gonna be this size after that, all those tires go across it.
Yeah.
And it's more weight. Like, I do get what you're saying, but that's my opinion.
I think we really have to give Dean a chance to get this road up to par. And like, how many hours and how much gravel do you spend on that road maintenance during the year? Like, it's outrageous. We can't pave it. You can't pave that road. So if this is the cheapest alternative to do, unless we build a mountain to go over it, because you got the swamp on both sides. So, are we okay to give direction to Tammy to go ahead with this bylaw?
Look into the process and
The process.
information to council.
Okay. Is everybody okay with that? Okay. Anything else? Anybody else have a question for Dean? Thank you.
Thank you. You took as long as call, don't get t-shirts. Here's all the questions. Take a look at.
Are you going next or Tyler? And now we're up to Tyler.
I'll keep mine short because I don't have much of a voice tonight, so I'll condense my report. You guys got it last week, I believe. So the first report is building department updates. I haven't been to a committee meeting in some time. So last September, Brandon Bray accepted the position of Chief Building Official and Bylaw Officer for the township. The remainder of 2025 seen Brandon rounding out the qualifications he joined us with, and he was successful in this and was passed by bylaw later in 2025 as stepping into the role of a building official. Currently, he's familiarizing himself with the municipality, computer system, standard operating procedures. He's already started performing on-site inspections, permit reviews, working through outstanding permits in the municipality. Training in 2026 will be further elaboration, I guess, on residential and a focus on bylaw enforcement. So during the current transition period, I have remained on as the CBO with Brandon as an additional inspector. Since Brandon has taken some of my duties, I've been able to work towards catching up on outstanding admin items within the department before I transition out of the role. With the zoning housekeeping amendments on the way out, my next focus will be on updating the construction bylaw, revisiting building permit fees and building permit deposits. During this, I've also begun assisting Tammy as well. Once the transition period is complete, the intent at this time is to appoint Brandon, of course, to the CBO role while retaining me as an additional building inspector. Although this arrangement is not typical in conjunction with my new role, I'm proposing it for the time being due to the large building project that's currently on deck to occur in our township. Given the limited availability of inspectors qualified to oversee large and complex buildings, I believe it may be practical and cost effective for me to continue overseeing that particular project through to completion rather than hiring an outside inspector to come in. Unless, of course, Brandon gets those qualifications by that time. But that's something we have to work towards. That designation as inspector it would be very specific to that one large building project, nothing else. Update on 2025 building permit stats. We're actually down quite a bit in building permits in 2025. We reached 71 permits, down from 81 the year before. Total revenue was just over 25,000. The building permit deposit methodology we implemented to try and help close outstanding permits. I started early 2025, sending out letters to folks that had outstanding permits, and it's been pretty successful. The gap between the 2025 and 2026 numbers, I think, comes out to be only like 6 permits. So we've been able to now shrink the gap of how many are remaining open from year to year. So again, we're going to revisit maybe increasing that fee to encourage more people to close their permits over time. And then there's an additional table there, just estimated value of the work done in the municipality. Any questions on?
Can I stop you there? Does anyone have any questions on this part of the report before we go to this part?
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said you had a question. Sorry, the cold. So the second part is a request to council. Municipal workplaces continue to evolve to changing workforce expectations, efficiencies, and needs to attract and retain qualified staff. Flexible work arrangements have become common and accepted practice across many Ontario municipalities and counties. At present, the township already permits certain forms of flexible scheduling. Notably, the roads department has successfully operated under a compressed work week for several years. To my knowledge, this has proven to be a successful endeavor, which has provided a significant morale boost to that department. The approach has demonstrated that flexibility can coexist with operational effectiveness, service reliability, all at no additional cost to the municipality. So the purpose of the policy I had attached outlined 2 options that I'm proposing to add to the HR policy. Option 1 for employees would be a compressed work week, and option 2 would be a flex time arrangement, which ultimately means slightly changing the start and end times of your day, as long as it remain within open hours of such as the office or department. Remote work is not included within this policy. This initiative builds directly on existing and successful practices, as I mentioned, that are already in place within our municipality. Again, it's been successful with the roads department. Justification for this policy is grounded on the following benefits: improved employee morale, job satisfaction, and work-life balance, includes enhanced recruitment and retention of qualified staff in a competitive municipal market, offers enhanced employment benefits to staff without incurring additional costs to the municipality, alignment with modern municipal human resource practices already adopted by other counties and municipalities. Again, most importantly, the policy is designed to operate at no additional cost to the township and with no loss of service delivery. All flexible arrangements would be subject to supervisory approval and operational requirements to ensure that public services continue to be delivered effectively and without disruption. There are built-in safeguards, of course, At any time, a flexible work arrangement can be terminated if it's not seen as fit for that department. There's a 6-month trial period to start off. If after the 6 months it doesn't work out, that's that kind of thing. And of course, it's also recognized that flexible work arrangements may not be suitable for all departments. But applicability will depend on the nature of the work, service demands, and operational needs. Approval would remain discretionary and department specific, ensuring that flexibility is applied only where it is practical and sustainable. So yeah, policy included in the package was for council's review. Please advise if this is something that would be of interest to council to support.
Any questions? So I guess my question would be, would this be something council would be interested in supporting?
Yeah, I would for sure. Modern workplaces are like this. It's what we do for our employees to keep them.
Brian? Anything?
Yeah, it would be, we're trying to 6-month trial period anyway, for sure. See how it goes.
Carl?
I read half of this now.
Thanks, Carl. I'll do half a report next time.
He's doing he's doing the other half now.
Okay.
Ted? I would really like to, if there's comparatives, like I have no problem with this because the county is doing this, and I'd like to know if there's comparatives to other municipalities and how they've adjusted. The serviceability is the key question. And as long as we provide the services that we need to.
Like I said, office hours, the township not changing, always people here. You know, if everyone can agree that everyone wants to take a Friday off, it just doesn't work out then. The office needs to stay open, service needs to continue. So the whole intention of this is that nothing changes financially or service delivery wise. And I think it's manageable to do. If it isn't, then it's canceled. Like I said, the roads department's already doing it. They've come up with a good system. So
Any suggestion or recommendation on where you want to go next on this?
it would just have to be brought up at a regular meeting to be passed, I think, right? If you guys are okay with the draft.
Does, as you've only read half of it, do you need to read the other half before?
No, I read enough.
Okay. So we're okay. We can bring this forward on Tuesday. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
Good. Thank you.
You aren't very, very, very good.
Oh. Good night.
Thanks, Tyler. Annie?
Okay, so I just wanted to advise council that Charlene has successfully obtained her diploma in municipal administration, AMCTO. This accomplishment reflects Charlene's dedication, professionalism, and hard work. Her ongoing commitment and skills gained through this program are significant value to the municipality and to council. Staff are actively preparing the 2026 budget and are meeting with the mayor to review the budget items in advance of council consideration. The meetings are scheduled for Thursday, January 15th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., Wednesday, January 21st from 1 to 4. A draft budget will be emailed to council on January 23rd, followed by a special meeting on Wednesday, January the 28th, at which time the budget will be formally presented to council by the mayor. Staff is undertaking the year-end financial process in the coming week and will work closely with the auditor to ensure that all required documentation and reconciliations are completed accurately and in a timely manner. Upon completion of this process, a final budget will be presented to council. Notice of the public meeting has been provided in accordance with statutory and municipal requirements. Meeting notices have been published in the local newspapers and posted on the township website and social media platforms. The minister has been formally notified of council's intention to pass the proposed bylaw, both by email and Canada Post. Administrative preparations for the public meeting are complete. The venue has been secured, the sound system has been arranged, and the draft public meeting package has been prepared and attached to this report for council's information. Council is asked to receive this report as information and join in recognizing Charlene's professional achievement and ongoing contributions to the municipality.
Congratulations, Charlene.
Congratulations, Charlie.
Questions? Carl, did you have a chance to read the Thursday meeting? Okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Brian.
Yeah, just a question on, so you said, the minister has been formally notified about the proposed bylaw by email and Canada Post, and was there any response from the minister?
Not at this point, no. No.
Thank you.
Tammy, I just have one question for you. Not sure if it was the last meeting or the meeting previously with Tyler Peters on, and we were going to update our Facebook and our township pages as far as the new process starting January. That's all been done.
The only thing, the circular materials, we don't have control over their website. They still have our old recycling calendar on. They advise we're just waiting for them to update it.
Do we need a new bylaw of any of this that's taking place?
Not at this point.
Okay.
That's all in with Greenview right now.
Okay.
While we're on recycling, I got a question. With this new procedure that we're doing with recycling being picked up and so on and so forth, are we paying for that, or is that responsibility of the producers of the product?
That is a responsibility of the producers.
So our costs, then we don't pay nothing for recycling. Right.
There are costs attributed to recycling, but not for the blue box recycling pickup. So they actually pay us to pick up the recycling.
So
Your bottom line question, yes, we're saving money.
pardon?
We are saving.
So are we, Kildo residents, money on their taxes with this? That's what I want to know. We're paying as we're paying.
That is a council decision, and that's going to have to be, because we've only done it since July. We don't have the true figures on what those savings are. So staff will be providing that to council once we have end of year 2025 numbers, but they won't be a full year because we only transitioned in July.
Okay, thank you.
Was a very good question. Very good. Would that be special area rate or their tax? Which one would it hit?
That's what I'm saying. We were paying special area rate to get our recycling picked up by the township, and now we're not paying for it, so.
So that gets pulled, whatever the fee cost is, that would get pulled out of this.
To that, at the last meeting, that was a change, but again, I can't give council those numbers because of we've only started in July, so I don't have a full year. But come 2026, that full year of for the special area rate, that will not be included within.
Thank you.
So it is the special area rate that will be affected. Okay. Unfinished business, procedural bylaw.
I'm just wondering if council had a chance to look at the procedure bylaw and the examples that were given, and if there are any updates that council wants me to start drafting into our procedural bylaw that we have right at this time.
But has anybody looked at it?
I have reviewed and I have some comments. I'd like the opportunity to give them to you in writing.
Sounds good.
Any comments down?
I do. I just think I feel the same as Bill. If we could do that, I think that would be great. And then bring them up at a meeting to just review with everybody. Yeah. we
So if
can-
everybody wants to email them to me or drop them off to me here at the office, I'll compile them all and I'll put everything together so that all council knows of what the draft changes are, who's brought them forward, and then discussion can be had.
Yeah, I think that might be a good way of doing it.
My only comment at this time would be that we had discussion as far as the strong mayor powers, for that to be put in there somewhere. I think the big thing is that it aligns with the municipal act. And also, I'm not sure, but I think our code of conduct should be included with this also, as far as taking a look at to ensure that everything's right up to date. And for my only comments. Anybody else have anything? New business. I think, Maureen, you had something.
Okay, so we are going to be we're having our budget meeting on Wednesday, January the 28th. And with the new strong mayor process, we have a certain amount of time to veto anything and to discuss any changes we want to make. So I am wondering if the week of February 2nd to 6th, we would be able to book a day-long meeting to go over the budget, because I think it's going to take more than an hour at an evening meeting. So is there a day that could work for everybody in there?
Wednesday the 4th is me.
I know you're not here. Yeah, and I don't think we can hold off till you get, I think we may have to just go ahead and do this. Yeah.
Well, you have, what is it, 21 days, Tammy?
Yeah, it's not a long period.
I don't, I just a suggestion. It's what you're proposing to, I'm not sure if that will give you enough time to go through and.
Well, we
your
will need another meeting the
Yeah,
next
I
week
just
too.
don't, I don't want you to rush it, that's all.
Yeah,
Because
but it's also
But-
with this new process, it
Yeah.
kind of does have to be rushed. So would we all be good with Wednesday, February 4th? Does that work? Okay, and could we also schedule another tentative, just because this process is really getting bungled in?
What time are you proposing?
Brian, what time works for you? Because you're the,
7's good.
oh, it's gonna be day long. We're doing it all day. Yeah,
Oh, well, I can't get here till nine till.
9?
9 till 2, yeah.
Okay, so let's do 9 to 2.
At one in Pembroke, if council's okay, then Charlene can step in when I'm.
I think that would be fine. Is that fine with everybody? If Charlene steps in while Tammy goes? Okay, and could we also schedule one for the following week, just to have as a buffer in case we don't get everything done that day? I would propose another day long, a 9 to 2 on the 10th or 11th. Well, it would be an all day, it would be again like a 9 o'clock, 9 to 2,
The 11th?
the 10th or the 11th, whichever one would work.
and not the 11th, I'm in Pembroke.
So could we do the 10th? If Phil can?
Yeah,
Okay, so I think let's tentatively have that one too, a 9 to 2. Tammy, is that good for you? Just so we have enough time to go over everything. Thank you.
Okay, we are now going to move into, does anyone else have any new business? We are now going to move into closed.
Moved by Ted Brown, second by Harold Levine, motion to move into committee of the whole be resolved that council move into a closed meeting pursuant to section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended for the following reason. Advice subject to solicitor client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. Solicitor regarding public meeting of January 15th, 2026. Solicitor regarding water system sustainability planning consortium. Solicitor regarding review of bylaw Greens Road.
All those in favor?